fighters here now tonight. We've got a special guest, none other than the main man himself, the King of Doncaster, Brett, mate.
Yes, that's what I like to see. Oh, come with me with the JDP, with the big Bretty B from Donny, ready to take it out
Yes,
to the
Brett.
pulling out Danny Christie, the fucking pussy. What's happening?
Yes, my bro, you good?
Yeah, you, my mate.
Yeah, man, I'm all good, man. What you been up to? You been training today, yeah?
Yeah, training, man. I'm just in bed now, bro. Just gonna get my head down. Same again up in morning, pal. Just cracking away with it. Just keep training as hard as I can, mate. Ready for this 31st of July with me and Danny PPV, bro.
Yeah, man. That's what I mean. If you keep doing what you're doing, bro, you're looking big, you're looking strong and healthy on the pictures I seen earlier. That's
Yes.
what I mean. A lot of people are putting in comments trying to say, "Oh, you're looking fat," and that. He's not looking fat. He's looking fucking big, mate.
Trust me, mate. I'm fit as a fiddle, man. I'm fresh. I'm at it. I'm running every day, circuits every day. Weights. The weight's dropped off me. I've shredded up loads, mate. Look at me, mate. I'm shredding up to death.
You're looking good shape, bro.
Yeah, I'm on it, bro. Trust me, I'm on the job.
Yeah, man. Go on. That's all you can do. Keep training. Obviously, that the other day with Danny coming to Doncaster, it brought a lot more eyes onto it. You know what I'm saying? But the worst thing you could have done was to turn up to him, because you'd be in jail now. You'd be gone.
100%. There are a lot of rumours saying I put my son under a camera while a team of lads are going to deal with him and that. So I'm putting that out there. That wasn't true. I don't do things like that. You know what I mean, JDP?
Yeah,
But a long story short, the address only what he got offered me was an address in Mexborough. So what any text or anything saying about Stainforth, what he's fabricated is a load of shit. That would have been the certain parties who he met up with would have gone round them areas to make him feel safe. And then when that red car pulled up, he still shit himself anyway. You get me?
Oh, they all looked a bit scared when that geezer pulled up in that red car, didn't they?
Yeah. Do you know what I mean, mate? Like that, and these people who pulled up to him, bro, can't even lace my boots, bro. You get me? I've done them over the years.
Definitely. Well, as you know, obviously, I'm going to come up and see you in the next couple of weeks, and we'll get something proper going, some proper content. But what do you reckon? Do you reckon he's turned up to try and get this fight off, or what?
Well, mate, listen. Actions speak louder than words. About 5 days before that, everyone's seen the video when Stefan Hanks went to see him up in Birmingham Services. And he started flipping out on Stefan. Why should I give this man a fight? Why should I give him a payday? Why should I give him the exposure or the chance of fighting or winning me? Why should I? How disrespectful he's been with me. And then Stefan's gone, Danny, you asked for this fight. Then you asked for the kicking money. You know what I mean? Brett's accepted the fight. He then put the kicking money down. And then you was both warned in your contract. You both live 3.5 hours away from one another. Carlisle's at the other end of the country, and Brett lives at Doncaster, South Yorkshire. There's no reason for you to be in any other areas. So if any of you get caught in anyone's area, it's a breach of contract, and you're going to forfeit your kicking money. Now, I got Danny's kicking money. I could have accepted Danny's kicking money, but I said, no, keep it. I said, because I did everything to get this fight above and beyond the line.
Yeah, man. You've done it. It seems like you are doing everything you can. I mean, that whole thing, what Danny's going on about with you saying stuff about his missus and that, wasn't that last year? And didn't he squash that and say that was all squashed anyway? So
yeah, that was just horseshit, man. Like everything else, man. Like look at Fury, look at McGregor, look at everything there. When fighters get on and they're talking, you know what I mean. There's a lot of trash talking gets put out there. But at the top and the bottom of it is, when it comes to it, it was just a proper straightener. We shake hands. Well, he doesn't have to shake my hand before the fight. We shake hands after the fight. If you don't want to shake hands after the fight, we just walk away. That's that done. But he's missed out on a 5-figure payday. Yeah? Which was there in black and white, win, lose or draw. If we're going to get 5 figures anyway. Probably, let's face it, if we're going to do at least a couple million views, it we're going to go viral. And we had agents from the Misfits there to speak to us, whoever the winner was, due to fight on their show like that, because it was having that much exposure.
And if you get on the Misfits, you're making big dough then, aren't you? You're off.
Big dough, man. It's contracted to Dazen. You know what I mean? Well, same as like basically the BKFC's contracted to Dazen, but still it's massive, mate. And there are big name interested, because let's face it, Danny does bring the views, I bring the views. So together we're just going to be a fucking whirlwind.
Yeah. Well, you're both big names, aren't you? You both bring the views. Like I say, everyone's invested in this fight. Everyone's interested. It'd be silly now for it to not happen, really, wouldn't it?
100 million%, man. That's why I had to do that video. I think I did it yesterday, and I said, look, I'm just going to crack on with the training now. I'm just not going to talk no shit. I'm just, because it's every time anyone gets into a bit of back and forth with me, they seem to spit the dummy out and say, right, I'm pulling out. You know what I mean? I'm not going to say no certain names, but it's there in black and white. They've done it. They're not tough skinned like me. Obviously everyone's different. I could take it on the chin. You know what I mean? These can't.
Yeah. Well, it seemed to me like, obviously, Danny's a skilled fighter. I'm not saying any different. He's a good fighter, you know, but there is weight classes for a reason. And when you're fighting a man, a big, aggressive, powerful man, who's going to come forward and do nothing but try and land on your chin, them extra 3 stone and muscle and that's really going to, like, matter. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you manage to cut off the ring and to get him in a corner or, you know what I mean?
100%. You've watched all my fights. That's what I do. I'm the master of cutting off the ring. There is no one better than cutting the ring off than me. I'm a forward attacking fighter, and I'm a big old dude. I'm a big heavyweight. I'm a rough heavyweight. He's given, like we said, size is not everything. Otherwise, the elephant will be the king of the jungle. But when it comes to heavyweight against the middleweight, it does. It's all right if you're a heavyweight and you're going against, I don't know, a 26 stone bloke like Rob Cunningham or something, or a big heavyweight. You've still got that power to do it. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying Danny's shots won't hurt. Probably will hurt. You know what I mean? But he ain't got the physical power to knock me out or put me down. So the fear in back of his head of getting knocked out is on him, because I will non-stop come forward and I'd be swinging non-stop all the way through.
Well, that's what I believe. I think if, like I say, if you can get to him, the size and power difference of like such a big aggressive man, I believe would be the difference. Like, and I have said for a while, I think that you could beat Danny like in the ring in a square fight, like, you know, bare knuckle or gloves. I believe you've got that size and power advantage to do it, as long as you are trained, as we can see, and you are, as long as you're training every day, doing what you need to do, which you are. You know what I'm saying? There's no reason why you can't.
100%, mate. 110%. Like I said there, I give him credit where it's due. The guy's got great footwork. He's got good speed. He's got a good engine. He's obviously been in the wars. He's tough. But the problem is now, obviously, I want to keep it respectful there, yeah, but he's been in that many wars now. His punch resistance has gone, and it's proved that in his last 2 fights with Warren and Davy Mundell, where the jab obviously knocked him out, and it happens. It happens, it's life. You know what I mean? You can't carry on doing this game forever, mate. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And yet, like I say, the tough fights what he has had, like you say, his punch resistance and that, it clearly is in the decline, like, and a big man like yourself is going to exploit that weakness, isn't he?
100,000,000%. Look at the Decker fight with him when he was in his prime. What, I don't know how many years ago that was. What were it? Half a decade or a decade ago?
Yeah.
Which I have to say was a very amazing fight, by the way.
Yeah.
By 2 parties. But
they both
Decker
took a lot of punishment in that fight, both of them.
100,000,000%. But I give credit where it's due. Decker being the bigger guy put him on the knee 3 times. If that was a street fight or something what Danny could have quite easily got into when he come down into Donny with me.
You there, Brett? Looks like may have lost Brett's signal.
One sec, mate.
Yeah, man, you're back now, bro.
Can you see me on it, yeah?
Yeah, you're back now, bro.
Yeah, someone tried ringing my mobile number there and it knocked it off.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I mean, but nah, basically, like in that fight there, where Decker's obviously put him on the knee 3 times. I believe if that was a street fight, there's no rules in the street, like King of the Street style, then he would have been screwed. Decker would have hit him. It's as simple as that. But he kept him good range with them 1-2s. He split him wide open. He did good. But I'm bigger, stronger, and more aggressive than Decker, and Decker will openly tell you that. And Decker's been in jail with me there in Hull, don't forget, and he'll tell you I'm twice his size, and I'm twice his power. So me landing on him while Danny's on the way out, I'm just comfortable knocking him clean out. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I believe it can happen. What are you going to do if you do beat Danny moving forward? Are you looking for the Decker fight next?
Obviously, we've got some unfinished business with Venice there, haven't we? But one step at a time, mate, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, yeah, the Venice fight as well, because that was another one. When was that? All the Venice tube? Because I remember watching all that and being invested in that as well.
So basically, it was basically a tube what come from Danny. Basically, what they do is when one of them's had enough, they chuck it onto the other one. They're both a good tag team, like the Dudley Boys. You know what I mean? WWF, that's what they're like. But that's what they're like, bro. They're like the Dudley Boys, literally, bro. You know what I mean? And yeah, 1 minute you're arguing, next minute you're arguing, other. Then you get squashed and it's sound. Then when one says something, they both stick together, mate. they come in twos, and
Yeah.
someone, it's about time someone stood up to him, and no one stood up to him on here, and I did, and I put it on him, and look what happened. You know what I mean? It is what it is.
Man.
So
That's what I'm saying.
Venice got the fight pulled with us at BKFC because of that fucking. I didn't probably help the situation, like, because of Bakewell, but he did go running and crying to Bakewell, and he did get that fight pulled on the BKFC when it got announced. But Danny, a bit different. He's obviously gone down the other route, put his 2 fingers up to Stefan, turned up, broke contracts, and then Stefan's done everything in his power to try and get this reversed with the coppers. But then the coppers are just not having none of it, because they're looking all over these live feed, Carlisle against Doncaster, causing some gang war. Now their parties are gonna they'll be thinking their parties are gonna bring some dangerous people with them. They're gonna think my parties are now gonna respond and bring dangerous people with them due to what's happened. And they're just gonna think this venue can't fucking hold it, and there's gonna be World War III. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I can understand where that Stefan's coming from, really. I mean, I went to a BKB event of Stefan's Bad to the Bone in Stoke. One of my mates from Manchester was fighting a local lad from Stoke. And it happened then. Obviously, a lot of travellers came with us, you know, like with our group of friends, like from Manchester way. And we've ended up fighting with all the Stokies. There's chairs going everywhere and everything. So I couldn't, but there was obviously more young people over the other side. So I could understand why they don't want that at the events. You know what I'm saying?
100%. Yeah, no one wants it where there's family shows, and I don't want that either. I just wanted a clean fight, like the best man win. If he beat me, I shake his hand, and then vice versa. Don't get me wrong, selling the fight's been great. You know what I mean? But don't get me wrong, this one want no fake beef. This was proper. You get me? This was when he crossed that line. Yeah, now it's getting me mad thinking about it. When I see him, there is no way, 2 ways or minds. I will be driving my hands through his face, and it's as simple as that. And I'd rather do it in a professional setting and get paid and get the viral and exposure than me sitting in jail for fucking next 12 months on a Section 20 GBH charge. You know what I mean?
It's the only way to do it now, Brett, man. You know what I mean? You can't spend your whole life locked up. You've done all of that now.
That's what I mean, Paul.
You're a professional sportsman, fighter now. You got to do it proper. You know what I mean? You want to get paid in the ring. Boom.
100 million%. 110%, mate. It's just now if he plays ball now again, because it is hard work, bro. You know what I mean? It's as simple as that. Like me, as far as I were concerned, any fighting man in the country will tell you, once that kicking money has been put down, that is that. You know what I mean? Whoever doesn't turn up on the night, loses the kicking money. It's as simple as that, yeah? You know what I mean? That's how it's been for years. You know what I mean? Through the beginning of fights. Both our money was down, everything was sweet. And then it's pretty smart, though, because a lot of people are thinking, has Danny rang the coppers? Has he got someone to ring the coppers? I don't know. You know what I mean? Because Stefan ain't got on here and gave us an intelligence report. Because I'm not saying the police will even disclose what their intelligence is. Yeah. But it's just like fucking Illuminati shit, if you ask me, bro.
I think they might have to tell Stefan some of the intelligence, what they've got for the reason why they'll be pulling his show, I think, wouldn't they? Yeah,
that's what I thought. Don't get me wrong, you can understand if the police are coming and giving everyone Osmond warnings. Here you go. Here's an Osmond warning for you, Osmond warning for you, Osmond warning for you. This is what's happening. But there's been, as far as I'm aware, there's been no Osmond warnings given. So if there's no Osmond warnings given, then there is no direct threats to life or anyone personally in danger. So I want to know how they can just stop things like that, unless the police have actually scared the Barnsley Metrodome venue to death by saying, look, we can't stop it, but we can strongly advise you. We've got serious intelligence. Yeah. Shit's going to go down here at this venue. Just like how you would on Pub Watch. Yeah? We can't intervene because it's a civil matter, but we can strongly advise you not to let him in because he's a dangerous man. That's what I used to get in Doncaster all the time when I was on Pub Watch for about 10 years. I wasn't allowed in no pub in all South Yorkshire for about 5 years on a South Yorkshire banning order. And what they did is the bouncers got told not to touch me or approach me because I've been jailed and I've attacked that many bouncers over years. What they had to do is they had to ring the police and just say to them like that, yo, listen, Brett May's here, can we come? And then they come arrest me for breach of court order and then send me to jail for a few weeks for it. So I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't know what they're doing, right?
Either way, man, I hope you get this fight over the line with Danny, whether it ends up being in the gym, on a different show. Could you not get the fight with Danny on the BKFC?
It's the weight size, isn't it, mate? Could he put that size on?
I suppose, yeah. Would he not do some sort of catch weight or something, maybe?
Mate, if the BKFC were there, mate, and that was nailed on, right? I'd have to eat like a rabbit, yeah, just to somehow even get close to cruiserweight like that, yeah. It's right though, isn't it? Yeah, I'd have to eat like a rabbit, but you never know though. They can do certain special things, and I'm sure if Danny pulled his magic, we'd be able to get it on for the BKFC.
Yeah, because that's what I mean. It should be, in my opinion, it should be on a good platform. You should both get a good payday. I mean, yeah, it's all well and good going in a gym, and you probably would still earn a decent dough. You know, if you got someone to set up a pay-per-view or something, you'd probably still earn a decent whack.
Of course.
But I don't believe that'd give you the exposure what it warrants. You know, a fight like this with the interest what it's got. You know what I'm saying?
100%. It takes two to tango with a PPV as well. Obviously, it's got to be like fucking willing parties. Now, obviously, I've got the venue in Doncaster sorted for the PPV. Like that, when I'm off license on the 31st of July, I've got all that put on board. I'll show the people who comes down with the height of fair play. Anyone who comes down for a fair play will get a fair play. But if anyone comes down for any madness, they'll get madness back. Do you know what I'm saying? Right?
Yeah, cool.
But so I'd happily bring him in. I'm happily to.
Oh, we lost Brett again. I think we might have lost signal with Brett again for a second, guys. Hopefully he'll be back in a sec. What's the comment saying? So, guys, bit of a treat tonight anyway, really, innit? We got Brett May on. Not very often I do a live. We got the main man from Doncaster on. Yeah, I think he's gone, guys. I think we've lost Brett. Yes, Dan Fenton, hope you're all good, bro. Big respect. So, Brett's probably a bit busy there. I'm quite happy that he stayed on for as long as he did, really. So, big shout out to Brett. Yeah, hope you guys. What's happening, guys? Hope everyone's doing well. Welcome to the second day in a row that we've done a live from the beautiful office here in Manchester City Centre. Tell you what, it's only what time is it? 1:30. And I tell you, I am absolutely cream crackered. It's been one hell of a day. Been doing this contract, that contract, the other contract. I've had to run out into Manchester City Centre to get my lunch. Got a nice little Cornish pasty, and as I got back, started to feel a bit ill, so I never even ate it, you know. But we'll have a little discussion here now, a little chat, and then we have got a video to react to and break it down and see what we actually think. But we'll give it a little 5 or 10 minutes, wait for a few years to get in. So who have we got in? What's happening, Jeff? Hope you're all good, bro. Come on, you know that Cumbrian truth. Big shout out to the burger joint. You done me the other day, didn't you? Like, absolutely no messing. Assassination, that was, kid. Finished me. It was well funny, though. I had to give it a share. Big shout out to Dan Fenton, new mod. Hope you're all good there, bro. And yeah, what's everyone's plans for today? I'm hoping to get this done, finish off a couple more contracts, have a quick phone call with Frank Warren. I've heard Alan Sugar's been trying to get hold of me, so we may have to have a little chat with him this afternoon. Then get myself back on the train out of Manchester City, back to my gaff. You know how we do. Glad you are all enjoying it. Yeah, big up Ian Stungun. I hope he's all right, and I hope he doesn't take it too serious what people are saying to him in the comments. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, this video, what we've got to react to here today, guys, is an absolute belter. I'm not even messing, you know. Like that Equalizer fella, I've never known anybody like him on a serious note. Like, never known anyone like him. The beast of Cebu, the real one. As we know, that term was thrown around quite loosely around a year or so ago. But he is the real one, as we'll point out and discuss in a moment. Well, could be something along them lines. No, well, Alan Sugar, like me, is in the business of doing business, you know, so could be doing some business, that's all. Don't worry yourself, Neil. Don't worry yourself. Us at the top, us high-flying execs, we'll make sure the little people like you are fine. Don't worry about that. Now, as you all know, I did manage to get a little helicopter ride over to the offices last week. This week, we've had to be satisfied with a first-class train ticket, but hi-ho, swings and roundabouts and all that. Got to keep your feet on the ground somehow, haven't you? It's a belter cigar, this, you know. Christoph Sumatra. Belter, like 30 nicker each. Only the ultimate high flyers in society get about smoking these bad boys. So obviously it was only right that JDP got one, wasn't it? Oh, up the mags. Thank you for never missing a video though, my friend. I do appreciate it. And yeah, we'll give it another little 5 minutes and then we'll get into this video. I'm quite looking forward to doing it, to be fair. Like this Equalizer fella. We also had, I noticed when I posted yesterday, anyone who's never, who's not seen the video that I posted yesterday, of me mate who's just signed with JDP Promotions having his first fight, Karate Marty, of all people, tried popping up in the chat, you know, in the comment section. Still not addressed the fact that you was trying to hack into my old Facebooks and that for months, you little weirdo, and telling people you had hacked into it when you hadn't. Strange people. You're trying to get me to say something so you can clip it for one of your videos. Not true. I've got a pair in my drawer. What I keep next to the photo for good luck. It's like a lucky charm. Since we got the pants and the photo, as you can see, that's when things was on the up and we started on the way to the moon. So big up Brett's pants. I know, that's what I mean. You'd have to be a right plonker to do that, which is obviously why I'm sat in an office building in Manchester. As I've said, 5 security downstairs. You're one of the people who've made threats to me on multiple occasions, you absolute ding. So why don't you try and get yourself in this building and get yourself twisted up? How about that? Can't be bothered with you today. Oh, no. I've done it to the wrong person. How do I undo that now? Right. Sorry, burger joint. I was meant to be timing out that little div up the mags, and I timed you out by accident. Oh, man. See, I am still an absolute amateur. Absolute amateur I am. Yeah, I'm sure you are, mate. What are you going to do? Come legging it to me. Fuck off, you little tosspot. You're not going to do shit. I'm the fucking boss round here. Yeah. Get that in your thick little head. You ain't going to do shit. Fucking hell. I'm in Manchester city centre at lunchtime every single day, hanging around the pasty shops. Keep your eyes out. Now, how many we got in here? Right, should we start then in a sec? Tell you what. Address. Get yourself over to the Dominican Republic. 23 doesn't exist way. I'll meet you there in half an hour. You little ding. You all know where I live. I live in Crewe. I've told you, any little div, all you have to do, if you want me, is go to Crewe, post a short in Crewe and tag me in it. And I'll fucking come to you immediately and punch your head in. But none of you will, because you're all little tits. This is what I was trying to say to Ian Stungun Paddy earlier. Don't worry about any of these absolute idiots. Anybody who's coming in a YouTube comment, making a threat, is not someone that you need to be worrying about, you know what I'm saying? Yes, bigging up the cat weasel, LDN, you know how we do. Right, let's get into this then. So, as most of you know, Equalizer has popped up under a new channel now, Clown World TV. He's got Video Craig pushing him, the sheriff, people of the sort, you know, who don't mind that this man is a real predator, hanging around in third world countries, as I shown on a video yesterday or the day before, with suspiciously looking young women. And also it's come out, the man was a death dealer who, well, there's some suspicion about bestiality around him and his friend. But he did put out a video here to try and dispel the myth. So let's break it down, have a little watch together and see what we all think, yeah? On a live, as you do.
Obviously, I need to make this video to set a few things straight with this situation. Yeah, it's been funny. You know, the situation's been funny.
Well, I don't think it's been very funny for you. You've been outed as a dog nonce.
It's what this corner's all about, innit? Do you know what I mean? Exposing people, having banter, back and forths. So
it is about that, yeah. You know, between normal folk, that's what it's for. Wrong'uns like yourself who come on and try and get involved, as Ian Stungun Paddy did so rightly say in his video earlier, always get exposed. And when you do get exposed, people like me like to keep our foot firmly entrenched on your head.
Fair play, you know, I like it, but...
No, you don't. Stop lying. That's why you've had about 7 channels under different names, because you're desperately trying to get away from your own identity in this corner.
First things first, there are a lot of mistakes and a lot of lies said in that newspaper article.
You're spot on there, Dan, mate. That's what I mean. He tries to say that certain people have made up lies about him and pushed this agenda, but he's done it all himself. We only speak about what he's done, what he showed us, and then it's all come out, the paper article, why he was hiding his name and why he didn't want us all to know who he was. I've come on here and been open from the beginning about my name, about who I am. That's what I'm saying.
Guys, you've got to remember, we're dealing with the mainstream media, tabloid newspapers.
Look at him trying to spin it like that. Oh, it's just the mainstream media. No, you're not some big left-wing judge or something who they're trying to stick up for, are you? You're just a little wronger, mate, and you got outed.
Since when have they ever printed a word of truth? Now, at the time, it was just before COVID, so they were getting all their...
It's definitely not the prison assassin. I know the Video Craig cult are trying to push this agenda, but he had videos on there of his garden in the Philippines, mate. The things what he's called me in the chat is what Equalizer used to call me in the chats. No one else has ever used these words for certain things. I know that the clown world is Equalizer. You'll turn a blind eye because he's pushing your agenda and your narrative, and you don't mind, really. I mean, that side of the fence, they do like to try and say, he's a bacon, and try and ridicule a lot of people who are genuinely not bacons, while supporting people like this fella who clearly is a bacon and having suspicious pasts, or like the sheriff saying suspicious things every time they have a drink. Exactly, Jeff.
Information from the police or the CPS. They weren't allowed in the courts to do court reports. Now, the first thing they did is they got my age 10 years wrong. At the time, I was 31, not 41.
Oh, yeah. That old chestnut. He's probably spinning it there, didn't he? At the time, I was 31, not 40. Fuck off, man. No one believes you. You look old as shit in that picture.
But that's pretty irrelevant. But like the main things they got wrong were, the first thing they did was saying that I was forcing this guy to sell stuff for me. Complete lies. What happened is this kid got nicked with us. Now, he thought he could say this and it would give him, he could get bail off the back of it.
Now, I don't know what to believe there. You know, he could be telling the truth. But either way, they're still selling a very disgusting substance that destroys lives, kills people. So he was still a death dealer, whichever way you want to try and swing it, whether you was forcing this other lad to do it with you or whether he was doing it willingly. It doesn't really take away from the fact of what he was doing.
It worked for him. That's what he did. He basically grasped, made up a story, grasped, and it got him bail. But guys, guess what happened? While he was on bail, he got nicked again doing exactly the same thing. So obviously that proved that I wasn't forcing him into doing shit. He was doing it off his own back.
And to be fair, in all honesty, I don't think that Equalizer could force anybody to do anything other than, of course, where he is now hanging around in the jungle, and we all know why he's in that sort of place, and the sort of people who he could force to do what he wanted, the absolute sicko what he is.
That got dropped straight away. Now the second thing is, this person whose flat it was, when the police came in, guys, obviously I got on my toes. I was gone out the back door, jumping the fences and that, but they had the whole area surrounded. There's loads of them, old bill everywhere, loads. So I got apprehended, unfortunately.
You got apprehended, unfortunately. I'd say quite fortunately. They managed to get you off someone's street. You was probably living next door to someone's house where they had the kids and whatever. The kids probably wanted to play out. And they constantly had people, the likes of you, in and out, and stealing in the local area. So I'd say fortunately.
So this person whose flat it was, they did exactly the same thing as what this other kid did. And to be honest, I think...
Yeah, 1,000,000%. That's what I mean. He tried to make out it was a joke, what he said on that live. But we all seen exactly what went on at the time. Marty went live, and it was immediately as he went live that Equalizer said that. He didn't know that they were live. He didn't know. Marty told him when he said, "Oh, am I live?" Which is then when Equalizer changed it to, "Oh, how old is she? 19 or 20, whatever it was." We heard what you said. You want a 16-year-old. We knew exactly what you were getting up to. Like I say, from the fact that we'd seen on the live earlier in the day, the very young-looking girl that you were grabbing saying, "My future wife."
It was the police that told them to say that. Because they didn't get nicked out. Well, they did get taken down the station. They didn't get handcuffed.
We are going to get to that in a minute, only fools. How he's always got old Shep on his lap.
Put in a police car, taken down the station, and they got released straight away. And they gave this story that I took their flat over and I forced them into doing all this crap.
Well, it is quite a common practice. I believe they call it cuckooing today. So I wouldn't put it past you. The sort of fella what you looked like back then, the fact that you were clearly a heavy user, and all you probably would have been interested in was getting your fix at that time. And obviously, what dogs the neighbours had. And
guys, guess what ended up happening? That got dropped as well, because there was no evidence of that, and this person actually lied, and then after the fact obviously felt bad about it and wasn't willing to write a statement and go all the way through with it. So that's the reason why they couldn't use that, because this person wasn't willing to even write a statement, because they obviously knew it was grass and they knew it was wrong. They knew they were making a story up. They got their desired outcome where they never even got nicked for it. That's what they were worried about, getting nicked and having to be down the cells for a few days, like I was. Like I was down the cells for 2 days.
See him rubbing his chin there, trying to think of how can I make myself look good in this next bit of the story.
After being chased, beaten up by the police, fed fucking food with spit in it for 2 days with a fuzzy blanket and a rubber mattress, and then they take my mugshot, guys. Come on. Of course I'm going to look a mess. Like, who wouldn't look a mess after that? Didn't even let me have it.
That was not, I've been in the cells for a couple of days, rough. That was, I've been bang at the bobby for the past 5 years, rough. Come on. Who are you trying to kid? This guy.
Shout for 2 days I was down there for. The other thing is, they're mentioning all this stuff, this W and B. I didn't get caught with anything. The only thing I got caught with is 500 quid.
Look at him now. This is my favourite bit, yeah. Look at him. I didn't get caught with white and B. The only thing I got caught with was 500 quid. It wasn't me, officer. It was him. Oh, you can probably see it in him, you know.
It was this other lad that grasped me up.
It was this other lad. He grabbed me up.
To not get remanded. He's the one who had all the gear on him, not me.
Not me. I'm sure. Oh, I'm sure. I bet that's worked for you that many times through school, and probably even when you got locked up for this and you went to prison, it probably worked again for you, didn't it? That, boss, it wasn't me. It was this other lad. He had the stuff in his pocket and yeah, little rat.
But because we were to get, you know what the police are like? They fucking tie it all together, because there's been a couple of phone calls between us. Off the back of that, what happened? Obviously, you saw me, no comment, you know. I wouldn't cooperate and didn't give him the access to my phone.
Stop lying, mate. We've just seen how you've gone on here on YouTube. I'd put my life on it that as soon as you was in that little interview room, you were singing like a canary. You was probably grassing on stuff that they'd not even nicked you for. You was probably telling them about your mates who sold some at 50 miles away, you.
Going to do that, guys. Come on, let's have it right. You're not going to give police the access to your phone, are you? But anyway, so I went no comment. So then, you know, when they, you know, do their back and forth, and then the CPS get in contact with your solicitor, we had to visit off the solicitor, and they said, right, this.
There's no way you're talking to me there, is the Monty, because I haven't got an absolute clue who you are. Unless you're talking about the Equalizer. And then again, I wouldn't have a clue who you are, would I?
This is how it is. You can plead guilty and you'll get 2 to 4. Or you can go to trial. If you get found guilty, you're going to get 6 to 8.
He's trying to convince us all here now that he only pled guilty to get this smaller sentence, and he wasn't actually guilty. Don't forget, it was all this other guy who had the stuff in his pocket. Equalizer just had 500 quid. Now, from the look here on that picture, you don't look like someone who'd be walking around with 500 quid unless you was doing what they're saying you was doing.
Guys, I'd already been in there for about 8 months, 7 months. I was thinking there's a good chance I could get 2 years, or a little over 2 years. Like, what is the point of me risking? Remember, it was COVID, so the trial would have taken ages. All the courts were backed up, so I could have been in there for months and months.
Oh, so now it's COVID's fault that you pled guilty, is it? Not the fact that you were running around dealing death on people's doorsteps where the kids were playing. Nothing to do with that. COVID. All right.
Some months, even years.
Sorry, we take it all back.
My solicitor said before a trial, because they weren't going to let me out for my trial. Before my trial, I was remanded, remember? So I thought...
All right, now, before we continue with this Equalizer thing here now, see this guy here? This has got one of the strangest people on YouTube. I'm not even joking. This man sends me that many messages on Instagram. It's unreal. Like, voice note after voice note after voice note. I just reply with gifts, yeah, people like you in. And that, like, go away. You just don't stop, honestly. You need to get a life, you do, Jim. Especially the fact that you're living over in Thailand. Just probably like sun's beaming, food's dead cheap. You could be sat in a restaurant somewhere now on a beach or something. Why are you sat watching me, man, and sending me voice note after voice note after voice note? Get a life. Now, let's continue with Equalizer.
At the end of the day, worst case, I'm going to be in for another year waiting for this trial, or I can just bite the bullet, take this 2 to 4, hope I get a 2, and be out before this trial would have even started. Because you don't get money back or anything like that. So, guys, I was in an impossible situation.
Yeah, what? Do you expect money back? Come on, man, we've all been there. I've been locked up for stuff I've not done before and been on remand for months and months and months and then got out. They don't give you anything. You're off your head. Especially when you've been caught bang to rights, you and your mate cuckooing, a load of stuff, a load of money. It's clear what you was doing.
Well, who would plead not guilty in that situation? Honestly, guys, everyone here would take the 2 years. If you said, right, I'm going to go to trial, you're going to be on remand for over a year anyway, waiting for this trial. So you may as well just get it done. The only difference is you'll come out without a conviction. But guys, I tell you what, when I was in there for that long, over COVID, the first 2 weeks it was normal routine. After the first 2 weeks, they let us out for 15 minutes a day, guys. 15 minutes a day.
Look at him, like, please feel sorry for me. I did something really bad and I tried to blame the other kid. And when I went to prison, they only let me out for 15 minutes a day, guys.
And I don't know if anyone's ever been down the block. I'm sure a lot of people have on this.
We've all been down the block, man. Get a grip. No one gives a shit. You're a little faggot.
It must have been down the block, solitary confinement. Guys, you know what it's like? It was like that. Where I was in HMP Featherstone, I was in, what's it called?
He definitely got terrorised in that HMP Featherstone. Now, I've never been there personally, but I've heard from people who, when there was in there, that there wasn't even toilet roll in the jail. Like, that's how bad that jail was meant to be. I don't know how true it is, like I've never been, but that's the stories people used to tell me. Like, you can't even get toilet roll off the screws and that because there's none in the jail. He'd have been getting terrorised in there, man. Defo.
Huel, to start off with. It was an HMP Huel. And then that was all right.
Yes, Matt, I hope you're all good, bro.
For a first.
Don't forget to smash them likes for us, guys. Anyone who's not subscribed, hit that subscribe. We're like this close now to 3K. We just need that extra little kick up the back end. You guys are the ones to do it. So come on, smash that subscribe.
A couple of months until you get sentenced. And then I went to Featherstone, and that was bad. 15 minutes a day. And Huel had a cleaner's job and everything. You know, I was out.
No, you never. They don't give cleaners jobs to little worms. You know it. I know it. You were defo not a cleaner.
The boys having a crack. But I tell you what, in Featherstone.
Well, saying that, I'm lying. You do normally have a little snitch on the cleaners, don't you? So maybe you were on the cleaners. Maybe you were the resident snitch. 15
minutes a day, guys. They bring the food to our door for a bit, then they started letting us go down to get the food because it was too much work for the screws. You know what, they're like lazy bastards. But if you go for over a year sat there, 15 minutes a day you're allowed out, it starts to do funny things in your head. You've got a channel, Fuzzy TV, that's got a few channels.
Yeah, is this him trying to justify his fetish for dogs here? Well, you know, when you're locked up, guys, and you only get 15 minutes a day, it starts to do things to your brain. Is that what he's getting at here? You sick man.
I had a PlayStation, but guys, you get fucking bored to death of that. You know.
So you had a PlayStation, so that means that, you, like I said, you were a screwboy, enhanced prisoner, defo super snitch. Told yous, I'm well onto this kid, you know. Moves like Randall off recess.
You read books, but for about 6 months, I was literally just staring at the ceiling. My head, something went in my head. I couldn't concentrate. I couldn't sit still. I was going.
All he could think about was dogs.
Round and round.
What puppy he was going to get on release.
Like a wild animal.
I imagine if that dog, what he's got, could actually talk, though, he'd be like, he touched me here and here. Oh, imagine. Bro, we need to get like a little voiceometer so this dog can tell us the story, what's happened with this Equalizer.
I can focus, I can concentrate on playing games, I can concentrate, I watch everything on the TV, it repeats itself. Right. And when I got out, couldn't keep still, I couldn't talk properly because you weren't really talking, doing a bit of shouting out the windows and stuff like that, but in the end you get sick of that and you just don't know.
So you couldn't even talk properly, you come out with a sick obsession for dogs and to go and move to the Filipino jungle and get up to all sorts, and you couldn't talk properly, and he's proper spinning it for us here, guys. He wants sympathy, you know. Don't forget, it wasn't even his fault while he's in this prison. It was all the other guy who had all the stuff in his pocket. I just had 500 quid. Don't forget.
Interacting with anyone, and when I got out, I just can't explain it, guys. The feeling I had, and these mental health people ringing me up and they were just telling me stuff. Oh, just go for a walk and you'll feel better, and just bullshit like that. There's no help. You know, I'm not trying to garner sympathy here, guys. You know, it is what.
You blatantly are. I've never seen anyone come on and speak in such a soft voice and be angling for sympathy so much in my life. It's like you're trying to blame everybody else but yourself for your actions, for what you was getting up to. It was everyone's fault but yours. The police stitched you up. COVID's fault. It was your mate's fault. He had the stuff. You just had 500 quid. Like, you blamed everyone and everything along the way to this. Of course you're after sympathy, man.
It is. You know, I took my punishment like a man at the end.
No, you never. You've just been telling us it was all the other kid. That's not taking it like a man, you little bitch.
The day, like I know 90% of the people on this corner would do. You know, you just got to get it done, haven't you guys? You know, you're in that situation. You just got to plough through it.
Yeah, you are. And you just sat there and cried into your pillow, didn't you, for 12 months? Stop saying you did it like a man. We see you.
But I tell you what, guys, it was tough. It was tough. A day seemed like a week. You know, normally on normal routine, you know, you go to work and then you're out in association. And, nah.
He couldn't do any of that because in the end they found out about the dog and he ended up on the bacon wing and all he could do was walk to the laundry each day. Oi, proper, full on, proper wronging this kid, I swear.
None of that this time, guys. None of that this time. But yeah, guys, and the only thing I got caught with was 500 quid. I didn't get caught with any.
Look, he's at it again. He's at it again. Fucking, what the fuck? He's at it again. It was you. You was caught. Stop lying. Blaming the other kid. It was a fucking pair of you little bitch.
Anything. I got caught with nothing. And they forced me into this horrible situation.
Oh, what's going on? What's going on? This guy, he's not after sympathy. Don't forget, he's not after sympathy.
Where it was between a rock and a hard place, and I just took the fucking the deal at the end of the day. You know,
just took the deal. I had no choice. I didn't do anything wrong. COVID. The other kid had the stuff in his pocket. Oh man.
What the police like with their deals. You know what I mean, guys? And that's it.
And did you clock that then? Let's go back a little touch, just so to make sure that no one missed that then. What he says.
I didn't get caught with anything. I got caught with nothing. And they forced me into this horrible situation where it was between a rock and a hard place. And I just took the fucking, the deal at the end of the day. You know what the police like with their deals?
Bet you do, don't you? You know what the police are like with their deals? I bet you fucking do, mate. I bet you fucking do. Anyone who he's ever had anything to do with, you heard it here first. Stop doing whatever you're doing. The police know he's always doing deals with them. It's all the other guy. And yeah, I don't even know what else to say. Oh my God. Can you believe this guy? Can you actually believe him? Like, no accountability for anything he does. Same thing now over in the jungle, hanging around these kids. It's not his fault. It's the troll's fault making stuff up. He just said a joke. Never takes accountability for anything. Sick, horrible man.
You know what I mean, guys? And that's it. It is what it is. And now,
probably not for the likes of you and me, but they do deals with the likes of him, clearly.
This dog stuff. Guys, can you know, some of these guys got WhatsApp groups and they're sending these silly little videos to each other thinking it's funny.
Right, and if now he's trying to convince us all now that, you know, he had this video on his phone because it's just come from a WhatsApp group that people thought was funny. If that was the case, then why have you all, every time you come on a video, have you got a dog on your lap? Every single time. The dog's there looking at the camera, looks petrified, scared to death, like it's saying, please, someone save me. You sat there with this seedy grin on your face, stroking it. We all know exactly what you're getting up to, mate.
You know, that's...
Like Only Fools said before, Decker went east and found Chew. Equalizer went east and found Shep.
all it was. It was one video. I didn't even know about it. The first thing I knew about this bestiality shit was when I...
Yeah, on a serious note, that is, and I've been saying about this for a while with this geezer, the fact he's hanging around, because I did draw attention to it a while ago. He was walking through the jungle with a load of little girls. They look like proper kids around my children's age, and there was all like girls, and he's walking through a jungle with them. And we all know the sort of things that he's getting up to. It knocked me sick, but it seems no one actually cares about stuff like that. You want to troll people who aren't actually wrong uns. They're on here for a bit of a laugh. And people like him just go under the radar and get away and do whatever they want. It's disgusting.
I was teed up with him. He landed in jail on the same day, everything. And I saw his charge sheet. And I was like, bro, what the fuck is this? I said, you're going to have to be careful. You want to fucking burn that, because if it...
Respect, Sam, bro. See how he's going on here as well now. He's telling his mate to burn paperwork. Sounds like you've done this before. Let's go back.
Jail on the same day, everything. And I saw his charge sheet. And I was like, bro, what the fuck is this? I said, you're going to have to...
You knew about the charge on his charge sheet because he got nicked with your phone. I've already heard. It was your video. So no wonder you told him to burn the charge sheet, not to mention the fact that you've probably done stuff like that before, burning charge sheets in jail. Why would you need to do that, mate? Unless there's something suspicious in them paperworks.
Be careful. You want to fucking burn that, because if anyone sees that, they're going to fucking give you a hiding.
See, he knows what to do there to get out of it. Burn the paperwork. Deny, deny, deny. Blame the other guy. It was him. You know, he knows what he's doing.
And then it was crazy because about 2 minutes after we had this conversation, the SO came in the fucking cell, the actual SO of the wing.
Big respect, Matt. I hope you're all good, mate. Take care.
Came in the cell and said, listen, I want to speak to Hitesh on his own. And he looked at me all wide-eyed and he's like, no.
You're killing me.
Sam can stay. So I was like, whatever. You know, I'm trying to fucking look after him. The geezer's a bit green. He's never been to prison before.
Can't see you being able to look after anyone like us. As we've pointed out through this live quite conclusively, I'd say the only person you care about looking after is yourself. And if you can throw the other person under the bus and you're going to get somehow a better ride out of it, them under the bus before you can blink, aren't they, mate?
Felt a bit sorry for him, to be honest, but...
No, you never. Or you probably did feel a bit sorry for him because he had your charge on his sheet and you probably knew he's due to get a kick in and it was your video.
The SO said exactly the same thing. Do you want to go on protection? He looked at me all wide-eyed like that and I just shook my head and said, no, you don't go on protection. I said, no, he doesn't.
Stop lying. You've been on protection before, man. I can tell by how you carry on. Snitches like that cannot be in normal, like, association and that in prison because you get filled in because people can see what you are, especially just the way you was talking there, blaming the other kid like as much as you could. Wrong un, man. And yeah, smash the likes for us, guys. We've got both the mods in now. Big shout out to Tom and big shout out to Dan Fenton, two absolute legends keeping the chat in check for us. Big respect, boys. Obviously, I don't mind people writing stuff as long as they're not being too disgusting about stuff. Don't be really deleting any comments. I did block a couple of, timed a couple of people out earlier, but that's just because the divs and all they do is leave negative comments, and I didn't want them filling up my feed.
He's got protection, boss. I said, listen, explain the story to the gov. And then he explained the story. By the time he finished the story, the fucking SO was laughing their head off. The senior officer, not SO, what you lot are thinking, a lot of you lot. The senior officer was laughing their head off and said, if that's all it is, you've got nothing to worry about. But obviously don't advertise the fact that, do you know what I mean, you've got these charges because people won't like it.
I don't believe that, Equalizer. I reckon as soon as you got there, you probably backdoored your mate, left him to fend for himself with the bestiality charge that you'd got on his paperwork. And you just probably floated off onto the wing somewhere, started, I don't know, became the wing snitch, got yourself a cleaner's job, and just started grassing on all the lads. I guess, from what we've seen in this video, the way you carry yourself, the way you talk, the way you blame everything on everybody else.
And he had never had any trouble. In fact, someone ended up finding out, and then people just took the piss out of him. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, people have been taking the piss out of me. He didn't get battered or anything. Didn't have...
I reckon so, man. He seems the sort anyway. And as we know, all he does is make excuses, blame other people. When he's got a blatant truth in his face, all he does is lie about it. So, you know what I mean? We'll never know the truthful facts, but in my opinion, with charges like that, I can't see him knocking about on a normal wing, which is what makes me think he's probably backdoored his mate because he didn't know that. And like I say, it was his phone what the geezer got caught with. So he put the charge on the other fella. I reckon he'd have backdoored him and tried to have nothing to do with it, maybe. And the other kid would have gone on protection, in my opinion. Yeah, 1,000,000%. It's his whole angle of attack, isn't it? Look, it's not me, it's them guys. And it was just a joke. And the other guy, and oh, man.
On protection, because it was literally a fucking stupid fucking video that they think's funny. They're sending it to each other in WhatsApp messages. I'm sure some of you guys are in these WhatsApp groups. Like, I'm sure someone is.
I have never been in a WhatsApp group where people have been sending me weird videos with dogs, mate. Genuinely. I mean, you guys let me know. Put a 1 in the chat now if you've never had these sort of videos sent to you, and put a 2 in the chat if you have, just so I can gauge it, you know, and see if this is even really a thing, an angle that he can try and defend himself. So 1, we think he's lying. 2, we think he's telling the truth, and yous have received them as well. So Dan has never received one, doesn't believe it. Jimmy has never received one, doesn't believe it. Frosty's never received one, doesn't believe it. I'm guessing Amsterdam has. Yeah, so 1, you know what I mean? Again, this is what I'm saying, and this is the guy's whole angle of attack, is to make out that he's just come through some sort of WhatsApp group. Now, we know what you are, you're a seedy man. And plus, you may have even been able to fly that under the radar if you weren't clearly so obsessed with dogs. Literally sat there, like I say, with the dog looking scared to death, stroking it on your lap. The dog's looking at someone for help, and then you sat there with that look on your face. Sick, man. Yeah, all 1s, man. I've not even seen a 2.
Because I know a couple of people at my old work, I used to work in a factory, that have been in similar groups getting these fucking...
Look, he's at it again. He's throwing other people under the... I know guys at my work as well. They've got the same videos, officer. Do you want me to take you there so you can nick them?
Viral videos sent to them, thinking it's funny, he's trying to show it to
Proper Judas him, you know, innit?
everyone, and most people are like, don't fucking
You don't want him at your final feast, do you?
show me that shit. Do you know what I mean? Something you find funny when you're 18, guys, you know what I mean? So there's nothing to that. There's nothing to that. He didn't even end up getting any extra bird for that or anything, so...
Right, well, that's pretty much the end of that. But I don't believe you. In all honesty, Equalizer, I think you're an out-and-out wrong'un. I think you've been exposed, as we've just brought down there, for exactly what you are, a seedy little wrong'un, hanging around in the jungle. That dog, what you've got on your lap, someone needs to get hold of the Philippines version of the RSPCA because it needs rescuing, and that local community need to be aware of the predator that is living amongst them, in my opinion. So make sure you hit like and subscribe, guys. And let's have a little chat about some other stuff. What's everyone up to? Let's go for another 15, 20 minutes. Let's get it to an hour. Come on, let's get a party going. Should we get some tunes on? Get a party going? I'm only joking. What's everyone saying? Exactly, mate. He's a sick-seedy man. There's no 2 ways about it. He's been fully exposed. Everyone can see what he is. I've seen and recognised what he is for a while and been pointing it out. A lot of other people have as well. There's only a very small number of people what believe is the shit what comes out of his mouth, and I believe most of them accounts what do seem to back him up are him, because as I've said, he's got multiple accounts, and I've actually caught him out that many times changing channels from one thing to another. It's blatantly him, and leaving himself comments and that. That's the fly, that. The fly could defo smell a Sunday dinner on a Tuesday, couldn't he? He started smelling his Sunday dinner now, kid. He's at work, like, I can smell it. I can smell that Sunday dinner. I know, I think it's something to do with this StreamYard, or could be to do with my internet connection at these offices. I'm unsure. But yeah, I hope you've all enjoyed this little live, guys. Don't forget to smash the like and the subscribe if you have. Also, we have got the members going over here as well. You know, anyone who wants to become a channel member. I'm unsure how to do it. If you go onto my channel, you should be able to find the link there to become a member. It's all appreciated, all the members and stuff like that. It helps me to pay the bills on this building, keep this great content coming for you guys, keep these daily lives rolling, you know, because that's what we're going to do now. Like I said, around 3 lives a week. We probably won't do one tomorrow, but we'll be back again Thursday, and then again 3 lives next week. And yeah. Respect, Wayne Brown. Yes, the Blade. Hope you're all good, brother. How have you been, mate? You okay? Yeah, no, not tomorrow, Dan. We're not going to do one tomorrow. Thursday, probably around the same time, Thursday, around 1:30. Obviously, I'll still be in the office tomorrow. I'll still be recording you some videos. I've got a few meetings tomorrow. Like I say, I've got a phone call with Alan Sugar. So I'm not going to be able to fit a live into tomorrow's busy schedule. Thursday, I've got you penciled in for 1:30. So we'll be back for a nice little chat then. What's that got to do with anything, mate? I told you the other day I don't really go to football, if you're the same kid who was asking. Oh, happy birthday to Blade, mate. Hope you have a good day. It's a shame you're not local. You could have had a couple of puffs on this Christoph. I'm going to walk out the office and chong it as I'm walking along Manchester High Street. Big Christoph, as you do. If you was local, you could have shared it. Jay's fight talking out. This is another one, Super Troll. Always write stuff in my thing like being a bell end, but you're always here. You never miss a video. Don't forget to hit that like, kidder. Big shout out to the Murph. Right now, guys, make sure you all go over and subscribe to Chris Murphy Winsford. As soon as this live ends, get yourself over to the King of the Roast, Chris Murphy. If you're unsure where to find his channel, just go on to my posts on my channel, scroll down, and you'll see a few videos from the Murph. Absolute legend. When this man's on form, I'm not joking. Oh, man, he'll have you in stitches, like I'm telling you. Proper, like, real laughter, like pissing yourself. Trust me. Right then, guys. I think we're going to call that a day. Don't forget to smash that like for us, like I say. Anyone who's not subscribed, hit that subscribe. We'll see you all again Thursday for another live, 1:30. Make sure you all hit the notification bell for the channel so you don't miss any uploads, any videos, any lives. You know the dance. Make sure to leave me your thoughts in the comments after the live's finished so I can get round and have a little read and see what you're all saying, what you're all thinking. Hey, I've seen Murph roast multiple chickens. Does a good Sunday dinner, does Murph. You'll have to show him, Murph. You'll have to do a little video when you're cooking your dinner on Sunday. Right, guys, we'll see you all on the next one. Mate, you may get another video later today. Keep your eyes open for that. Make sure you put the notifications on for the channel. Peace. Yes, what's happening, guys? I hope you're all doing well. Back here at the office, as you do. I wasn't going to do a live today, but I've ended up deciding that we're best off doing one, really, aren't we? Couple of different things, different videos to react to here. So we will get into that in a moment. We'll have a little wait for a couple of years to start coming in. I did say earlier on today there wasn't going to be a live today. I thought it was going to be a little bit too busy. As you can see, I had to nip out into Manchester City Centre, get myself a little trim, feeling a little bit fresher, a little bit better. So let's start letting me know when you start coming in the comments, and we'll start getting into the videos. The first one, what we're going to respond to today, is an absolute belter. You'll love it. So yeah, get a couple more minutes, wait for a couple more. 15 years now. Don't forget to smash that like for us, guys, if you haven't already. If you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe. Starting to get a couple in now. Me Super Troll, Geordie Eel. What you saying, Super Troll? Yes, Jeff, I hope you're all good, bro. So I'll tell you what, save any message. Should we just get straight into it? Now, what we've got here, first off, the first video we've got today is called Brett May, the movie. Now, we're going to react to Brett. As you know, Brett is the flagship fighter for JDP Promotions. He's our #1 superstar. there is talks of a movie about his life. So let's listen to what Brett's got to say, and then we'll move on a couple of different things.
Guys, how are we? Hope everybody's blessed. I hope everybody is well.
We're all good, big man. We hope you are too.
Thank you to all my subscribers, my friends, everyone.
It's a beautiful town, innit, Jeff, mate? You should try the Leopard and Tap. Beautiful food, honestly, on another level. Every time I see them post something online, the food just looks, oh, man.
Out there, love and peace, love and peace. You know how we roll, chat. Yeah, guys, Saturday is a good day. A day full of podcasts and a day full of documentaries. You know whose podcast is coming up. Say no more.
Big shout out, Brett. Absolute legend. He's doing big things. I am due to go down and film a little podcast myself with Brett, but I'm going to wait until we do get a couple of new cameras just so we can get different angles and film it on more of a professional setup. But as we all know, Brett is on the way to the moon. So big shout out to Brett. And I'm glad that you've got more big things in the pipeline.
But I've also got a film crew coming to do the documentary who's been asked, a professional film crew.
See? No messing. Brett, like I said, I don't just put pictures of anyone in frames on my wall, you know. Only absolute superstars on the way to the moon.
There's an old saying, don't say anything till the job's done. Yeah? But I just can't help it. So that's booked in for Saturday. I don't know how long it'll take them to edit everything and that, but and then they'll put it onto all their mainstream media channels and what have you. And then I'll share it on the May documentary. Hey?
Oh, hey, big money Mayweather. Whee! See? The real people out in the world can see a superstar, and they're all over Brett. You know how many letters and correspondence I've had this week of people trying to poach this man from our promotional company. It's unreal.
Get ready. It'll be a good do. Sweltering out here. Just got my training finished for the day. And really, guys, yeah, just same old. I don't know. I don't know what to do. I'm in two minds whether to fly up to Hastings and give Bash what he wants and just do some sort of exhibition and go to his body.
See, now, I know a lot of people didn't like the idea of the Bash fight, but for me, I thought it would have been a great promotional booster. No one can say Bash isn't a warrior because Bash is a warrior. He flew all around the world, fought different disciplines, you know, against different people all around the place. Absolute warrior of a man. So for people to be trying to put a downer on it, for me, just shows the whole agenda against the superstar that is the big money Mayweather.
Let him go to the head and go full scale. Let him bite me or whatever, I don't know. What do you reckon? And yeah. And just same old. Dice in April, Deck of July, they're the only three confirmed, so I thought I'd get that out of the way. No bravado.
Yeah, so what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Who do you think would be a better fight for, Brett? Decker or Luke Dyson? For me, I've got a lot of ratings for Luke Dyson. I like the fella. He's a tough man. You know, heart of a warrior. No one can say any different, but I think Brett is just way too big and powerful for Luke Dyson. And for me, I think the perfect fight would be Decker Heggie. But you guys let me know what you think in the comments.
I don't know crap talk, guys. Just keeping it 100%. I hope you've all been enjoying the mental health awareness talks as well, guys. I hope it's really only a lot of people out there who really need it. So, yeah, man, it's red hot, isn't it?
Oh, it is an absolutely beautiful day today, guys. So make sure you all get out, get some of them rays into you. As you can see, I've been for a fresh trim, went for a little walk around Manchester. Lunchtime, got myself some lunch, little fresh trim. Back on the phone to Frank after lunch. And now I'm here for a live with you guys.
Can't get how hot it is. Jeez. So, yeah, no, it's going to be good times coming up, guys. Good times. Just keep chipping away, keep grinding away. Yes, that's that. My hairs grew back pretty quick, hasn't it?
Oh, yeah, as you know, Brett, big respect for that. You must have a strong hairline like JDP. Whee! As we know, there's loads of them balding in this corner, and they hate it. Oh,
Shaved my hair off about literally 3 weeks ago, straight down to the bone.
I did the same thing, but I actually did it before, Brett, if you all remember. I shaved mine straight down to the bone, and I shaved it down about 3 or 4 times. Look at it now, look. Hairline to die for. Boom.
It's back already. Yes, I'm going to keep it this time a bit. Summer's coming in it. You know what I mean? So, yeah. But nah, guys, listen, I hope everyone's blessed out there. Hope everyone's well. Just keep doing what you're doing. Just tuning in as usual. Yeah, that's about it really. Same old shit, different day. Thursday's leg day today, squats. Been hammering the squats out. So yeah, obviously.
See, when I used to do the gym, my legs are actually quite naturally big anyway. Obviously, it's my top half what I need to train. So I just end up with a right belly. The power belly, I'll call it. But yeah, I've never really trained legs much. My legs are naturally quite big.
Everyone who trains legs knows that squats are probably the most important thing.
But as you can probably tell, I'm no gym head, am I? So, what do I know?
To do squats, leg pressing, quadriceps, hamstrings, calf raisers, lunges, you know the ones, front squats, blah 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 blah, dumbbell, reach down, touch floor, jump squats, some burpees in between, usual crap. But that's about it really, guys. I know I'm not going to mention certain things. I come across some on the channel the other day. Seeing that obviously Quasimodo's been sparring with one of my old sparring partners, Big Noi. Hey? Yeah.
That was actually quite a good spar what Paul put on the other day. I did watch it with that big fella. 2 tough, strong men. But like I say, Brett's the superstar for a reason. Brett carries one punch power that only comes around once in a generation. Trust me, this man is a generational great. I'd throw him in there with Anthony Joshua tomorrow, and I know he'd put him to sleep. 1,000,000%. Eddie Earn, get on the phone. Let's get it on.
Big Noi's one of my old sparring partners as well, bro. He's done countless rounds with me. It was a good spar, to be fair.
Without a doubt, bro. Like I say, the power what Brett carries doesn't come around every day. It's like a generational thing. There'll probably be another man alive while we're all alive who can hit as hard as Brett, Money, Mayweather.
With M&P. Ask him how hard big man it's. You know what I mean? So, yeah, no. It's good to see that other people sparring my old sparring partners as well.
They obviously all want to get a little measure for Brett by doing things like that, though, don't they? Sparring people who Brett has already sparred, and they're going to be doing that as like a measuring stick to see what these people who they're sparring with are saying. You know, how good was Brett, and then how good is this person against them? You know, things along them lines.
Hey, they love it, don't they, guys? They all just want to be like Brett May, don't they? They must wake up in the morning and think, you know what? I want to be like Big Male. That's what they must think.
That's what they're all thinking, Brett. That's why they're all hating on you, because they all want to be like Big Money, Mayweather. Facts.
Yeah. Come on. You know we do. But guys, listen to me. I'm sweltering. It's red hot. It's boiling. Yeah. We're going to have a nice, short and quick one here. Just drop in. Love yous as always, guys. Stay lucky. And remember, Brett May loves you.
So, as Brett's just said, Brett's the king. End of story. What a man. Brett May movie coming soon. Now, let's move on because, yeah. Yes, Dan Fenton, hope you're all good, bro. I know I said I wasn't going to do a live today. I thought I was going to be too busy, but I thought we'll get back. We'll do a little live reaction on a couple of these videos, what we've got here. Now, the one we've got here first is... We did do a video yesterday, if you all remember. So, yeah, yesterday we did a video about the narrative destroyer, how the narrative destroyer was being so nice to the sheriff, despite the fact of what the sheriff had said to narrative's son, to narrative himself. You know, it wasn't too nice. As I said yesterday, I wouldn't have took it lying down, and I certainly would not have then started to back this man online. But it seems narrative has woke up today. Oh, he's got a bit of a bee in his bonnet, and he's sent a completely different vibe to the sheriff today. So let's get into this one, shall we?
Hello, people. Long time no see, man, on the camera. On the camera, man. Sheriff's brought his heart in me, though, man.
Hey, it's no wonder you don't put yourself on the camera too often, you know, Narrative. Get back to pointing your camera at the TV.
I have to do it. I have to do this. I have to do it. Sheriff, man, I allowed you to, like, have a normal, peaceful path back to YouTube, man, after what you said and this and that, right? And you feel the need to come out today, right? Because I've just caught your little jab, like, in the mum's bedroom or whatever.
So what's happened is Narrative's woke up, rewatched the Sheriff's video, and now he's not too happy at all, is he?
You have the front to do that after what you said to me. Oi, Sheriff, you're a degenerate, bro. How can you call anybody anything, man?
He's spot on there about the Sheriff, and in regards to what this Geordie Eel's saying here, Narrative is all right, you know. I've got no real issue with Narrative. I actually used to like Narrative. He was one of my favourite people on here. He just sort of showed us that, again, like most, he's willing to turn on people for what they're saying in the comments and things, you know what I'm saying? Especially people who was backing him up. Because Chris Murphy, big shout out to Digger Man, Chris Murphy Winsford, go over, check him out if you haven't already, was backing this lad to the hilt, and then he turned on us all like that, you know what I mean? But other than that, and before that, Narrative was spot on, and I did like him.
You walk around the streets, right, and fucking terrorise like the local people when you're drunk, man. You've got, like, you're well known for it. You're well.
Yes, big shout out, Brett, if that's the real you, brother. I'm unsure if it is. But if it is, big respect to Brett. Everyone go over, subscribe to the official Brett May. Absolute legend of a man. As I said before, I don't just frame pictures and put them on my wall for no reason. Brett is a generational talent. Remember, I told you.
Well known for it, man. And that's a fact. That's a fact, man. Big up Ian Stun Gun Paddy, man. Big up Ian Stun Gun Paddy. One of the real ones, man, because you're just fake as.
Now, I did tell Narrative about this yesterday. Sorry about that. Just had to wet my whistle. I did tell Narrative about this. I said, you can no longer use the term real one. You are not in the real ones anymore. To which he come back with, I'm a founding member, so I'm using it on that basis. To which I had no comeback.
Fuck, man. You know what I mean? Like, the fuck are you, man? Talking about fucking smackheads and this and that, man. You fucking... Oi. You personify a fucking junkie. You know what I mean?
And to be fair, he's got you there, Sheriff, you know, because you do. You are literally the same as what you're speaking bad on. It's just a different substance what you allow to rule your life, isn't it? Because that is no way, having something when you're out with your friends for a laugh on a weekend. That is an everyday thing. We can all tell. And we've all seen it for months.
Can't stop scratching. You can't stop itching. You can't make like a video without snorting. Do you know what I mean? That's a fact.
True though, innit? It comes on like not Barney Simpson, what's his name? Barney Gumble out The Simpsons.
That's a fact. And we all see. What a prick, man. What a prick. Oi, fucking you, right? He's moaning about all sorts, like, the social, this and that, right? And now you come back, like, with all this shit, like, talking about fucking addicts, like you're some kind of fucking... you're like a class above or below, like...
And to be fair, again, he's got you because how long ago was it now, guys? It's got to have been a week, 2 weeks, max. Sheriff was on here trying to get in with all the addicts and, you know, I'm an addict, I'm a recovering addict. And he just realised it. I'm going to go to this meeting and that meeting. 2 weeks later, he's on here, you're addicts, you're this, you're that, blah, blah, blah. You were saying that's what you was 2 weeks ago for some sympathy. When you was coming back after, like Narrative saying, you'd said the disgusting things like about his son and...
You're a junkie, bro. You're a junkie, and that's a fact. You know what I mean? No matter what.
We're going to bring it back real soon, Matt, just for you, bro, because I know you're on me about this boxing glove.
What choice of drug you choose to take You still won, ain't you? You know what I mean? What a prick. He is, man.
You are, to be fair, Narrative. This is what I'm saying, and this is one of the reasons why I did used to get on with Narrative quite a lot, because he does speak quite a lot of facts. I mean, don't get me wrong. Sometimes, as I've said before, he falls into the trap of following the narrative and, you know, what people are saying in the comments. But a lot of the time, he does speak facts, and when he gets his teeth into something like he has with this, he is on the money a lot of the times. Not always, but a reasonable amount of the time.
Fucking hell, man. I don't want to have to make a video like on this guy, because I've been sticking up for this guy, man. I've been fucking trying to, like, you know, people calling him a bacon and shit like that. And he comes up.
Well, it was very suspect what he said. I wouldn't say Sheriff's a bacon. What I would say is he's in no position to be calling anybody else a bacon. That is for sure. When he said the things, oh, I'm going to do this to you in front of your son, Narrative wasn't the first person who would threaten to do that to as well, if you all remember, a week or two before he was saying it to someone else. And the fact that he threatened to kick his son. You know what I mean? Like, and I actually forgot about that until Narrative highlighted it.
Like, and like goes on like that when he knows it's going to trigger me, man. Well, fuck you, man. I'll revoke it. I'll revoke it, you sick little twisted pervert.
He revokes it, you sick little twisted. You know
what I mean? It's easy done. It's easy done because you obviously don't care about anybody else's mental health, man. Do you? You know what I mean? How many anxiety videos has Ian met?
And I did say this earlier again. Me and Ian Stungun Paddy, we don't really get on. There's plenty of videos made between me and between him, but I could see the other day when he come on and he was saying, oh, I'm out of the dark corner, that something had got to him, you know what I mean? And he thought something was going to go into his real life in the real world. And I'm not about that, you know what I mean? This is just a laugh. And so I didn't want him thinking that that was anything to do with me in any way. I was just getting the point across, you know, come on, it's in a YouTube. Like, remember, none of these will do anything. But Sheriff, he was straight in, sticking the boot in, wasn't he? He didn't care that this man was clearly having some sort of mental episode and it was more than YouTube. Sheriff was straight in there, sticking his boot right in.
How many? You know what I mean? But you, like, when it gets a bit hard for you, you know what I mean?
Come on, Narrative, talk to me. Talk to me. Terry Tibbs, talk to me.
I've got all the comments saying, oh, it's good on you for doing that, Craig. Good on you for, but does he deserve it? Does the sheriff deserve it, man?
Not really. I don't understand why what was said was just brushed under the carpet, because if somebody else had said that, you'd all still be going on about it. Now, I mean, in my opinion, it's disgusting, and I don't even know why these thoughts would come into a man's head. And it's not even like it's a one-off, like I've said. His go-to when he's had a few beers and he's arguing with you is to threaten to do them things to you or someone around you, or it's not normal, is it?
Fucking hell. He looks like fucking is related to Romeo anyway, man. Oi, they both identify as Simpson and they both come from Springfield.
Yeah, but the sheriff is Barney. He's not a Simpson, he's a Gumball.
And they both should paint themselves yellow for charity and let people take pictures. Just like a random thought, like. But yeah. On camera one for a change.
Yeah, go back to your TV, bro. Go back to your TV. So, as you can see, that was Narrative destroying the sheriff. No messing. He's changed his outlook now, hasn't he? But what we saying here? What's happening, Matt, bro? I hope you're all good. I know. Hey, see this Matt lad, yeah? He's actually proper sound, you know. We started off, we didn't really get on. He used to write a few things in my chat and that. And then we ended up having a bit of an argument behind the scenes when the boxing was on. I was having a couple of beers. I think he must have been. By the end of it, we was mates. How weird's that? Hey, big shout out to Matt, you know. He's a sound kid, this Matt. Serious. In it though. Oh God. Keep that head hidden. Right, now, Sheriff then has now today done a response to that video of the narratives, I believe. Now, I cut it short because it was quite a long video, man. He was going on talking cack for ages and ages and ages. But let's get into the last bit of content we've got for today. The smoking noodlehead Sheriff, and see what he's saying. Trust me, bro. Mental, innit? Big respect, though, Matt. Right, let's get into what this div's saying.
It's me. I am looking a bit rough.
You're always looking a bit rough, Sheriff. That's your look when you've got one of the T-shirts on. What Scott donated to Scotty G. Looking rough. That is the Sheriff.
To be fair, I don't know what it, I don't know what it is. I think I'm just getting like chest infection or something. It's not stopping us doing now. I just feel a bit.
He's got a Colombian cold. That's what's up with the Sheriff. Colombian cold.
Just a bit crappy.
We know why.
So, a couple of them have picked up on my opinions of certain individuals. Listen, all I need opinions. Whether I agree with it or I don't, or you agree with me or you don't, doesn't really matter, does it? Because it certainly won't change my opinion. But I find it funny, and I'm not going to start having a go at narrative, but I find it funny that it is actually people like narrative who himself was stuck on that gear, right?
Well, it's obviously going to be people like that what's taking offence, and you've got to expect it. Like I say, I'll come on here and I'll say things like what you've been saying myself. I agree with a lot of what you do say in regards to this stuff, but you can't then cry when people are going to have a pop at you about it and things that, you know what I'm saying? It sort of comes with the territory. Plus, what you did with the stun gun the other day, as I've said a couple of times now in this live, was below the belt, and there was no need for it. You could have just shown a bit of empathy on that day, and then the next day gone back to hammering him.
Or whatever he was. It's always them type of people who start saying, oh, it's not our fault. They blame everything else but themselves. That's exactly what they do. Blame everything else. Oh, what if they went to jail and they just got it to get through it and all that? Right.
Respect, Tony, brother.
You, in your own admittance narrative, you used to hang about around the shops when you were a young adult and stuff like that, right? Do you know what I mean?
What does that mean? He used to hang around the shops when he was a young adult. I'm not being funny. I'd imagine most people who was born in the 90s and stuff, I mean, there wasn't many community centres or anything like that when I was growing up. We used to all hang around outside the shops, you know, when you're 13, 14, 15. That's sort of what you do, really, isn't it? It was like a rite of passage where I used to live.
What about the times, right? For instance, me, because I'm talking about, because it's my video, right? Well, the shit I've been through in my life, right?
Exactly, see, we all did, didn't we?
By the way, I was in the army when I was when you were talking about shops, stuff like that.
There's no way you were in the army when you were 13, 14, 15. I mean, yeah, big respect to you and big props if you ever were in the army, Sheriff. But I don't know if I believe you were in the army. You may have been a cadet or something, but the army, I wouldn't like to think that the sort of fella who's keeping us all safe from everything what's going on in that world is someone like you.
Hell of a lot happened to me, right?
I wouldn't feel too safe, that's for sure.
I've never ever chose to do that. You know, everybody knows, right, that what heroin does. You know, if you start taking heroin, that's what it's going to happen to you.
1,000,000%. If people choose to take that stuff, it's only a road to ruin. It doesn't lead anywhere good. It leads to the destruction of that person's life and possibly even the end of it.
You see them in the street constantly. There's more and more of them all the time now. I'm not about fentanyl and all. I don't even know about that. To be honest, I don't even know if we even get stuff like that up my way. I don't know.
Big shout out to Chris. I hope you're good, bro.
I wouldn't know. I've never heard anybody mention it, to be fair. I know it's a big thing in America, but I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
I don't know either, Sheriff, and I don't actually get what point you had to mention that in this video.
But again, it's a massive choice. My choice was drink, right? Because I knew, personally, that drink is not anywhere near as bad as the smack.
Okay, I agree. But are you not using a different substance every single time that you have beer? A different powder, maybe a different colour to the powder, what these people use, what you're talking about. It's a little thought.
Right, you don't see... Right, you don't see as many people robbing people and stuff like that because they want a can of lager. But you see a hell of a lot of people robbing people because they need the next fix, right? And you want it.
Okay, agreed. But I don't actually, again, get what your point is here, Sheriff. I mean, narrative's come back. He's amateur. He's hit you with a good few fair points. And all you're doing now is going over old ground.
Yes, that's the reason. And like I say, I have got an addictive personality. So that's the reason I wouldn't even touch that stuff in the first place. Because I know how I would end up on that.
Well, it's how anyone would end up who takes that stuff. It's well known for it, you know. I've always been under the impression if you touch that stuff once, even just to try it, that's it. And I've always been under that impression, which is why I've never, ever had the slightest urge ever to go anywhere near it. Because like I say, you should know in your own mind, as soon as you use that once, that's it. You're on that path. And it's going to take a miracle to get you off it.
Stuff. So it's a choice. So it's only people like yourself and other people, right? Like that stun gun twat, right? Who are just making excuses like, oh, something happened to me, this, that. No. Do you know what I mean? There's people out there. There you go. There's people out there a lot worse off than what you've been through.
Like myself, and I do sort of agree with him on this point. Like I say, I do agree with a lot of the stuff what he says in regards to you know, this certain substance, because I myself was made homeless at 15 years old. I was having to sleep in squats, and the only person that had to look after me was an older brother who used these substances, and his friends used these substances. And I was basically just like a skinny little 15-year-old kid who didn't know anyone, who had to like rely on these people. You know what I mean? And I never ended up using that substance. So again, you know, it is choice and strength of character. I believe anyone with a strong sense of character and, you know, a strong will not use that stuff.
And they don't tend to that. Do you know what I mean? It's an excuse, right? You do it in the first place because you want to do it. Do you know what I mean? It's as simple as that, right? It just is.
1,000,000%, mate. 1,000,000%. And I'd never put anybody down who is genuinely 100% clean and has actually become that 1 in a million person who now goes to work and would never dream of using that stuff again. But like I said, they are few and far between. I do believe Ian Paddy is one of them people, and he should definitely not be knocked for getting off that stuff and moving forward with his life. Obviously, when he calls me stuff, I'll call him stuff. That's sort of the game. But as I said the other day, you could see that was deeper than YouTube, which is why I did the video I did.
It's your choice to do it. So, but again, it's always use addicts.
Don't be silly, mate. £30 Christoph, this 30 quid just for one. Oh, I smoke one of these every single time I do a live. As soon as I finish this live, I cut the end, boom, get outside the office, start chonging it. I'm surprised a lot of you don't see a cigar sat on the top of an electric box burning, you know, in the evening, because I'll go outside, I'll smoke it for half an hour, then I'll leave it there till I finish for my journey home.
Or ex-addicts who always have to try to blame something else. Do you know what I mean? Yes, bad things happen to people, bad things happen to everybody, right? But people make a choice of how to deal with that. Listen, I'm no angel. I hit the drink. I still do it now.
We know you do. You do more than hit the drink. you hit everything you can get hold of. Every dealer for a 50-mile radius knows when Sheriff's on it because he's ticked 2 for 50 off everyone.
The drink, if I'm feeling low or something bad happens to me, or if someone passes, my family passes away, a close friend, I get the drink, which is no good. That's how I deal with it, right? I would never ever hit anyone.
A lot of people hit the drink when, you know, something bad happens to him. I mean, I'm not a big drinker myself, but a couple of times in my life when I have been really stressed, I have gone and had a blowout and, you know, got really drunk, had a kebab, woke up the next morning and you don't feel any better for it. If anything, you feel worse. But we know that you don't just drink, Sheriff, do you? You go on mad benders and start threatening to do disgusting things to men who you've never met before off the internet.
Because I don't want to end up like that. I don't want to end up like one of them little zombie Doyles, right? Walking around my town centre, eyeing up old women's bags. Do you know what I mean? Because that's what they do.
Yeah, but to be honest, Jeff, that's what I mean. I had to do that because I could see that what Paddy, like, that was not YouTube. You know what I'm saying? That was something else. And I could see that. So I didn't want to be part of something what was actually causing him real life stress, which is why I tried to get my point across in my video. You know what I mean? But yeah, don't expect too much of that. I'm a rage baiter, mate. Can't be being too nice now, can I?
I don't give a fuck what you say. It fucking happens on a regular basis where I live. People getting mugged and people getting robbed of cash points and this, that, and the other. All of little smack rats. So I will never change the way I talk about them because I don't like them. And yes, you wouldn't want to be my friend addicted now. Mate, yeah, I've got a few friends.
You haven't got any friends. We've established this. You meet a man off the internet who you've never met before. Within 5 minutes, he's your best mate. You're on the train down to him for a sesh. You've got no friends in your local area. That's clear.
Who've turned to stuff like that, right? And yeah, I'm not the friend anymore. I don't want to be the friend anymore because...
Told yous all. I'm in the business of doing business. I've had Alan Sugar on the phone, Frank Warren. My confidence is obviously growing. I'm thinking, wow, look at these business deals I'm putting together. Who cares what these things think? I'm talking to Frank Warren.
Them people now are not the people I was friends with. They are totally different. Their morals are different. Everything about them now is different. And it's something I wouldn't want to have as a friend.
And do you know something? Now, I'm going to give you a little insight here. I've got a friend from when I was at school, yeah, and he does watch this channel. So if you're watching, you know I love you, bro. You know what I mean? But he's not the man what he was, the lad I grew up with, you know what I'm saying? And it makes me sad and it breaks my heart when I see him. Just because the potential that lad has was seriously astronomical. He could have been anything. He could have done anything. He was the best friend that anybody could ever have. Honestly, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart. He'd done so much for me in my life, and he would have done so much for me. But when I look at him now, the person he's become, it proper makes you feel sad. And he's not the person what he was. And I still love him, you know what I mean? He'll always be like one of my best friends because simply the fact that I've known him since primary school. And like I say, how close we was growing up and how much he did for me. And you know what I'm saying? I lived with his mother when him and his brothers and that had moved out. I ended up living with his mum for 6 months. There was only me and his mum what lived there and his uncle. You know what I mean? Mental.
People.
But that stuff really can destroy people, man. So that is true.
Who think like they do now. Again, they didn't think like that when they were clean. And again, it's their choice. It was their choice to have a go and to get hooked. So, not asked. Beat it. Not my friends anymore. Do you know what I mean?
Beat it, you whopper. I bet that's what everyone says to you when you try and turn up in the pub on Friday. Walk over to the group of lads and they're like, whoa, what's happening, boys? Like, beat it, you whopper.
And it is what it is. I will never, ever change your mind on stuff like that. Yeah, I won't. But like I said, it's not me having a go. You can't be asked for back and forwards with you. But it just is what it is. You've decided to pipe up. Fair enough. But that's my opinion. And it's through people who I do know who've gone onto that, gone onto the drugs and that. It was their choice. Don't force them. Do you know what I mean?
Right, I've had enough of now with that potato-headed idiot. So that was the Sheriff video. As you can all see, is still just as much of a plonker as ever. But should we have